from it emanates virtue, not from the soul, not from God. God is beyond. Because God exists all by itself. For God, you do not exist. There is only He. If you call yourself Vishnu, Karyo, whoever, anyone, then he will say, what is gentleman, what's this lady saying? It's me, I exist. Why he put his I there? That is the meaning of ego. So, if you wish, and that is the essence of spirituality, to transcend greed, anger, lust, hatred, jealousy. Greed, anger, lust. When we talk about greed, we are talking about desire, emotion, desire, ambition, wants and all the things. Because from these are born all this jealousy, this hatred. It creates the notion of duality, the notion of being separated. So the first thing is the ego. So the whole science of spirituality is to transcend the ego. To live it, not to reject it. You are an ego, you accept it. Yes, I'm a lower self, I'm a seed, but now I have to grow, and I will grow to become a plant, and the plant will give branches, leaves, flowers, perfumes, and eventually become a seed. Now, the whole question is whether you want to be transformed. The whole question is whether you want to die, because transformation is a sort of death, and that is the only death, relatively speaking, that I know. I don't know of any other death. Now, when I'm saying death, I'm speaking from your perspective, not from my perspective, because for me there is no death at all, because there is no ego. But from your perspective, the ego it exists. So, how to transcend not only greed, anger, lust, hatred, jealousy, how to transcend your laziness, your ignorance, all these things that keeps you away from that purest state of your being, from that divine state which you are, from that kingdom of heaven within, from that state which is free from all forms of suffering, ignorance and all the things. The whole question is that. And the answer is the transcendence of the ego. Now, one thing, right in the beginning, you don't have a full understanding of the ego, because the ego is the mind. And the mind, as I told you, it's so subtle as if it's not. Now, the first, that's why in some spiritual science, in some branches of the spiritual science, there is a very systematic way of starting from body, this, that. But that takes time, and it's very scientific, it's very mathematical, it's very calculative, just like yoga. But what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to just shake you up and to make you become enlightened as soon as possible. But that could be dangerous. You could become a rebel, you could become a revolutionary, you could rise against me, because I'll be hurting your ego. I will be saying, you're so rude. A master, a person who is in constant union with God, is here before you and is here to help you, to liberate you, and you're taking your tea in front of him? Are you not ashamed? I'm just trying to explain. So, but the truth is of that. So, what? You will feel shaken. Who has feel shaken? Your physical body, your etheric body, your astral body, or the I? Your ego, the ego. So, that's why it's good that you understand that spirituality is not about you learn, you stay in your corner, you live your life as you wish, you stay in your cocoon, and you say, I'm going to learn meditation from the master. That's not possible. Okay, you can do it like this, but it will depend on the master whether he accepts you or not, and to how far he agrees to accompany you. So, the whole thing is the ego, the notion of becomes, Jean-Paul Sartre, he was a famous philosopher. I'm sure in the Western world, most of you have heard about him. He was a philosopher, and philosophy is something from Western world. He used to say that the other is hell. What does he mean by the other? Now, the other doesn't mean excluding me. Excluding, for example, if you say, no, the other is hell, my wife or my husband or the other person, the politicians, or the priest, or that, and I'm okay, I'm fine, I'm very good, I'm holier than thou. That doesn't mean that. The other simply means division. Because it is only when there is division that you would wish to possess, to conquer, to exploit, to dominate. And that is why all marriages fail. Even if they don't fail, they fail in one sense. Even if you don't get divorced, it is failure. Because you still separate. You don't become one. I mean, not physically one. So the whole question of spirituality is of the ego. If you tell me to define spirituality, I will tell you dissolving the ego. That's why Jesus said, you will not attain the kingdom of my Father until you die. And the whole question is whether you are willing to die. But it seems here many people are not willing to die. Because the ego dies hard. And you know, that's why it's easy to have cheap spirituality everywhere. People say, Swami Paramananda in Creole say, Likoscrit, means he's very sharp. I don't know the exact word. Could you help me, Sam? Rude, no? As if Kosgri, how will you say? It's straightforward, no? It's straightforward. I was searching for someone. He's very straightforward. He's very, you know, he hits and maybe people don't come. But I said, that's the only way. That's the only way. You have practicing the techniques, okay, doing some discipline, that's okay. It will bring you up to a certain level. There is nothing wrong in that. But if you want to follow me deeper, you will have to take your cross. Minus yourself. In minusing yourself, I will help you. But taking your cross, you will have to take your cross. That is the meaning of being a disciple. And that is the work of a master. Most people that you see around the world teaching Reiki, yoga, whatever it is just business. Sorry, I'm not judging you. There could be some people. But most of these people teaching this, that, is just either to get money, name, fame. Because, okay, they speak very soft, okay, it's good like this. You go to Sai Baba, miracles, a lot of miracles. People rush there for the miracles. You know, we were checking of one of our friends about healing. People will rush to you when you do healing. Okay, it's good, you are sensational things. But when you go to an Osho, to a Krishnamurti, if you come to a Swami Paramananda, then things is a bit different, much more different. He works using his scalpel and do the surgical operation. That's different. So I wanted to shake you up a little so that you get understanding. Meditation, it's not something. And I'm not for taking spirituality and meditation lightly. Tomorrow if you don't come to me at all, that's not a problem, absolutely for me. Because I know who will come, who will not come. So, but that's the way. So how you work on the ego? First of all, accept yourself as you are. Learn it. You have to learn to accept yourself as you are, because God created you like this. He created you with the basic ingredients to create anger, greed, hatred, all things. Otherwise, why you would be an ego? How did the ego come into existence? If it was not for God? So if He created you like this, He accepts you like this, you accept yourself. But the acceptance should be something very profound, very deep from inside. I am like this. That's why I told Raj yesterday. You know, Raj is a quite new disciple. So I tell him, I told the secrets of success in spirituality. Accept yourself as you are, but of course, try to transform. Once you accept, anyone tells you anything, you won't feel hurt because you already accept. Jealousy, okay, I have jealousy, I know, but I'm working on it. But if you know, I don't have jealousy, I don't have the habits of telling lies, no, I'm holier than thou, I'm this and that, you will always be on the defensive. And when you are always on the defensive, you are negating yourself. And when you negate, you don't have anything to transform. But you know, one thing you have to understand, the field of action, your field of action, society, it was created for that purpose, because by yourself, it's very difficult to discover who you are. But your action, which consists of your duties, your responsibilities, you know, and all these things, they are like a mirror. They picture, they reflect your inner self, what you are. So if you have the courage to accept what other people are telling about you, the critics, then we will evolve very rapidly. But provided you have the courage. But that also is true. If you are meditating, I mean really becoming more aware, you do not need that, because you will see. Suppose you are seated here, you tell me a lie, any lie. Suppose I don't know that you have lied to me. Because I'm not omniscient, I'm not supposed to know everything. Now, when you are in your bathtub, you are taking a bath, or in the washroom, you are alone all by yourself. Wouldn't you know whether you lied to a master? And if you don't take me for master, you lied to a guy named Swami Paramananda? Wouldn't you? You would know. So, it's okay. That's why we say it, know thyself. Anyone can know what he is, how he is, why he is. That's the motto of our society, know thyself. I'm not saying you know God, know Krishna, know this, know Jesus Christ. All these, you don't know anything about these things. Should be very frank about it. The only thing that you can know yourself. So that's why my emphasis is on knowing yourself. And all the things, as I told you, it applies for even those things, just like your mind, your thoughts. If you go deeper and deeper and deeper into them, you watch them, one day, they won't be there. So the whole thing is the ego. But as I told you, the ego is extremely subtle. It's extremely subtle. That's why I say any method, any branch of spirituality that you adopt, and that is one of the main reasons I speak on the different branches, on yoga, on tantra, on bhakti, on dynamic meditation, on karma yoga and all the things, so that you choose one. Anyone that you choose, you have to go very deep into it. Suppose you choose the path of devotee. If you have to love wholeheartedly. Body, tu aimeras le Seigneur ton Dieu avec tout ton cœur, ton âme, ton esprit. Ye shall love the Lord thy God, body, mind, heart, and soul. There it says soul. I won't say soul because soul itself is God. Body, mind, and heart. So that's it. So you ask, the subject was how to transcend greed, anger, lust, hatred, and jealousy. That's it. First, accept it, then become more aware. And of course, as I told you in the morning, if you don't have energy, that's not possible. You need tremendous energy to transcend, to break the ego. In Hindu religion, we have a very beautiful ritual. There are so many beautiful things in Hindu religion. But the Indians have, present-day Indians, they have reduced them into blind belief. Ancient Indians, very ancient, not now, they had devised means to give people a message so that one day they can, but very fortunately they pass by it. There is the breaking of the coconut. You have to break the coconut, and the coconut is very hard. Maybe I told